Hey guys, today we are using completing the square to convert to vertex form. So it's pretty cool. We're going to be given an equation like this, y equals x squared minus 8x plus 11. And as you know, this is in standard form, right? And I'm going to teach you right now how to use completing the square to turn it into vertex form. So remember with vertex form, we've got y equals ax squared a times x minus h squared plus k, h and k being our vertex, and a, luckily, is still a. So although that's the harder part, because we know that point a is a, this a is the same a as there. So that's really a good thing. You don't have to do much math there, but of course you do need to deal with it when you're completing the square. Let's try this first example right here. Y equals x squared minus 8x plus 11. All right, so here's how we do this. So just like before, we have to undo that c value. So I'm going to subtract 11 from both sides of the equation. And if you see, when I subtract 11, I then have y minus 11 equals x squared minus 8x. So I'm creating a perfect square trinomial. So I have to think, what's half of 8? And then, I'm sorry, not half of 8, but half of negative 8, and then square that number. And I've got to add it to both sides. So I gave you all the answers. Don't look. Okay. So I've got y minus 11, and then I'm adding negative 8 over 2 squared, which is negative 4 squared. On the other side, same thing. I'm adding negative 8 over 2 squared, and that same thing is negative 4 squared. And let me fix that really quickly for you. So plus negative 4 squared. And then from there, do the math. Well, what is negative 4 squared on the left side of the equation? Negative 4 squared is 16. And then a negative 11 plus a 16 gives me a 5. So that's why you see y plus 5 on this side. And then on the other side, I've got to turn that perfect square trinomial, I've got to factor it. So remember, the rule here was what two perfect squares turn into the difference of two squares. Well, that's why when we multiply negative 4 squared, that's 16. Well, multiply 16 and adds to 8, to negative 8. And that's x minus 4 squared. So then from there, I've got to subtract 5 to both sides so that I can get it in HK format and have my vertex. So now I'm done. Y equals parentheses x minus 4 squared minus 5, and I know my vertex from there. All right, so here's how you turn standard form into vertex form using that completing the square.